So this is the last topic of the unit, developing decision making. In the last class, I had discussed a little about decision making, and today I am going to discuss about how to develop decision making or how to take the right decision. So before taking any kind of decision, before reaching a conclusion, one has to think and take the decision. If you do not think and if you take a decision, then your decision might not be a right decision. So that is why before taking any kind of decision or before reaching any kind of conclusion, one must always think before doing the same. And there are certain things which can be followed in order to take the right decision. So today I am going to explain the process of decision making. How are you supposed to take a decision? What are the steps involved in taking a right decision? So the first point is to identify the decision. Okay, if there is a need to make a decision, then it is very important to clearly define the nature of the decision initially. Okay, so if you want to take some kind of decision, so you should also know actually what do you want to do. If you are unaware of what do you actually want to do, then you will not be able to find out the right path. You will not be able to take the decision. So when you plan to do something, you must first of all identify what do you actually want to do, what do you exactly want to do. So you need to identify in order to take the correct decision, in order to identify what do you actually want to do in order to take the right decision. Next point is to gather relevant information. So once you have identified what do you actually want to do, then you need to gather the information related to the decision. You need to gather information related to what actually you want to do. Now this can be done in two parts. Okay, you can do this particular process and you can divide it into two parts. Okay, how can you gather relevant information? So once you know that you want to actually do this, so after that you need to gather some information so that you can find out the right path and take the decision. Okay, so how are you supposed to do it? You can divide it into two parts, external and internal. So one is internal, so you can get the details through self assessment. Okay, then external is the related to getting details through some other sources. Okay, through some other sources such as books or online, or you can seek some information from somebody. Okay, you can take the help of any other person. So internal is related to when you when you ask certain things to yourself. Okay, when you ask certain things to yourself, when you think of what should you do and what will make it actually possible. Okay, that's what internal is. So self assessment. Okay, self assessment is something which can be which can be considered as internal, because when you kind of think about it, observe certain things, and when you identify the necessities or the right things by asking questions to yourself, by just thinking, then that is something that is related to internal, and external is related to collecting the information from external sources, and the external sources can be anything. The external source can be a book, the external source can be an online platform, the external source can be a person, can be anything, okay, anything from where you can gather the relevant information. Okay, is it clear regarding how are you supposed to gather a relevant information in order to take the correct decision? Is it clear, students? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Moving ahead, point number 3 is to identify the alternatives. Now you have the information, okay, the required information. After that, when you have all the necessary information, then you are supposed to find out the alternatives. Okay, so in the process of collecting the information, you will surely come across many paths or alternatives. Okay, you can even use your imagination to create new alternatives. Okay, now when you are trying to collect the information, or in that particular process, you will definitely come across many paths or alternatives. You will be able to find out a lot of paths, figure out a lot of paths. Now the third step is to identify all the alternatives, okay, all the alternatives, and list each and every alternative. You can also ask yourself, you can kind of evaluate yourself, you can observe yourself, you can think, and then you can figure out the alternatives. Okay, so while collecting the information, you will come across many alternatives, and after that you have to just list all the alternatives. After that, the fourth point is weigh the evidence. Now once you get all the possible list of alternatives, now once you have all the alternatives, once you have listed all the alternatives, you after that need to analyze each and every option, okay, each and every alternative, and try to evaluate the end result of each and every alternative. So suppose you have 5 alternatives, so the fourth point will be, the fourth step is to analyze each and every option and find out the right alternative and find out the right path, okay, which will actually help you to be able to take the correct decision, or which will actually be able to um, kind of um, to reach your goals, to reach your goal. Okay, it will help you to reach the destination, or to um achieve your goals. Okay, so after you find out the alternatives, after that you have to just evaluate, or you have to analyze each and every alternative, so that you can find out the best one, which will help you to take the right decision, or which will help you to eventually reach your destination. After that, the fifth step is to choose among the alternatives. So I had already mentioned this. After you analyze each and every option, after you analyze each and every alternative, you need to choose the alternatives. Okay, you need to choose the best one. You need to choose the best alternative that is suitable. Okay, that is suitable to you. And you can also kind of combine 2 or more alternatives. Okay, if you feel like that none of the things are working, and you need to combine 2 different paths in order to take the correct decision. You need to combine two different things, two different alternatives to actually be able to take the correct decision, then you can do that as well. But here the fifth step is to find out the best alternative which will help to take the right decision, or which will help you to actually reach the destination. The next point is to take action. Now, see, if you only plan and there's no action, it is kind of a time waster. Okay, you are just wasting your time only planning things, and when you do not take any action, even after planning, even after a lot of planning, when you do not take any kind of when you do not implement it, when you don't do it, or when there's no action, then it's a waste of time. The planning is a waste of time if you do not actually do it. Okay, after you choose among the alternatives, after you choose the best alternative, the suitable one, you need to take the action, you need to perform. Okay, you need to perform, or you need to make use of the alternative. So the sixth step is to take the necessary action. The seventh step is to review your decision and its effects. Okay, so after you take the decision, after you do something, or after you perform the action, after that it's your duty to review whatever you have decided, whatever you have decided. You need to also review your decision, okay, and its progress. Okay, so when you take a decision and when you perform the action, it does not stop there, isn't it? It does not stop there. So you have to also review your decision, check the progress, then only you will be able to see some results. Why do we take a decision? In order to see some result, isn't it? In order to see some results. So after you choose the best alternative, after that you have to take the decision and take the action, and then you need to also review the action, or whatever is going on, you need to review, and also you need to check the progress. Okay, you need to check the result or the outcome of your decision, and also you need to check whether you need to change anything or it's doing good. Okay, because whenever you take any kind of decision, every decision is associated with a result, isn't it? Now, if you do not review the result, if you do not review the outcome of your decision, then you will actually not be able to find out whether you have taken the right decision or not. What is the after effect of taking that particular decision if you are not at all associated with what decision you have taken? Then you will not be able to find out whether you have taken the right decision or the wrong decision. So until and unless the work is completed, the work is done, okay, after taking the decision, after starting the work, until and unless you do not complete it, okay, until and unless the work is not done, you need to review your decision, you need to keep a check on it, you need to see the progress, and also if you need to make any kind of changes, because once you take a decision, later on, maybe after 10 days, you might need to change certain things related to that decision, because change is constant, and apart from change, there is nothing constant, isn't it? And there are a lot of uncertainties today. When you take a decision, certain things might change after few days, or even after a day, maybe after few hours. So that is why constant review and constant checking is very much necessary in order to see the progress and in order to also make certain changes. And this is the easiest process of taking a right decision. Is it clear, students? It's very easy actually. There's nothing much to explain. So it's an easy process. There are 7 steps, but it's a very easy process. When you actually do it, then it would feel kind of very easy. Now when you see it theoretically, it might seem very difficult, but actually it's a very very easy process. So you just have to think and take the decision, and that's the basic way of taking the right decision. So you have to first of all figure out what you actually want to do, then you have to gather all the related information and find out the alternatives, then pick the or select the right alternative, the best one, and then you need to take the action, and then keep on reviewing and keep on checking its progress, so that you can actually figure out whether you are on the right path or not. Until and unless your work is not complete, you need to keep a check on it. And if you also need to take any kind of other decisions related to the primary one, so if you need to change certain things, you have to do it, and that's how you take the correct decision, and also that's how you can see results, the good results, of course, good results. Is it clear, students? Is it
Yes,
clear
ma'am.
to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts, any questions? Because if it's clear, then I will start a new topic.
It's clear, ma'am.
Okay. So you already have uh, the notes. Go through it, read it. If you come across any doubt, do let me know. Okay. So I will start a new topic now, that is group discussion. Okay. So I'll share my screen. Give me a minute. Is the PPT visible? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So the topic that I'm going to teach you all now is group discussion. Now, before discussing this particular topic, I just want to ask you people, have you ever taken part in any group discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Iftikhar, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other student has ever taken part in group discussion? So Iftikhar,
Yes, ma'am.
because you have said that you had taken part in group discussion, so can you tell me what is the basic concept of group discussion? Can you actually tell us all what is the basic concept of group discussion? What it is all about?
Sorry, ma'am. Can you say it again?
Iftikhar, I am not able to hear you.
Hello?
Yes, Iftikhar, be a little louder.
Yeah, ma'am.
Huh. So
Hello, hello.
please tell us the concept of group discussion. What is the concept of group discussion?
Ma'am, concept of group discussion.
Yes.
Uh,
Or
when you are like given a particular task, and we need to discuss about that
hmm,
topic, and
you're right. Yes. You have to
yeah, means,
discuss on that topic.
yeah, and we need to execute according to the planning, and
Hmm.
complete the task. Like,
Okay. So group discussion can be considered can be considered as a communication process. Okay. So group discussion is a communication process. So here in a group discussion, a topic is given and the members of the group, they have to discuss on the given topic with one another. Okay, so there might be 5 members in the group, there might be 6 members in the group, there might be 7, 8 members in the group. Okay, there might be less or there might be even more members in the group. And nowadays group discussion has been a very important part of, has become a very important part of the recruitment process, the hiring process. Okay, now why do you need to learn what is group discussion and how to actually take part in a group discussion? I will be also telling you about the same, but before that I just want to let you know what is group discussion. So group discussion is popularly labeled as GD. GD is the short form of group discussion. So most of us, we use the term, the short form GD instead of group discussion. So G stands for group and D stands for discussion. So it is a discussion that involves different people sharing ideas or opinions related to a particular topic. Okay, it is a discussion, it is a interactive process where the people discuss or share their ideas or opinion or information related to the topic that has been given to them. Okay, that is the basic idea of group discussion. GD has become an important part of the recruitment process, and GDs are conducted to shortlist the candidates. GD is one of the first round of interviews. Okay, in a recruitment process, in a hiring process, there can be one round of interview and there can be 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds of interview as well. Okay, now you cannot do anything about that, it totally depends upon the recruiters. Okay, so if they want to conduct 3, 4 rounds of interview in order to select the right candidate, then they will do so. But in order to get a job, you have to at least face one round of interview. But if there are 2, 3 rounds of interview, okay, if there are 2, 3 rounds in order to get selected, you have to pass each and every round. Okay, each and every round in order to get selected. Now if there are even 2 rounds or 3 rounds, GD is nowadays one of the common rounds of interview. Okay, so that is why you need to learn what is group discussion and you need to know how to take part in a group discussion. Okay, because if you have no idea of what a group discussion is and how to actually take part in a group discussion, then you will not be able to pass the GD round, the group discussion round. And as I have already mentioned, that group discussion round is one of the initial round of interviews. So if you pass the group discussion round, then only you will go to the next round of interview and get the chance to meet the interviewer personally. So if you do not pass this round, you will not get the chance to meet the interviewer, to meet the recruiters personally. Okay, so that is why you need to also know how to actually crack a group discussion round. Okay, so as I have already mentioned that in a group discussion a topic is given and you are supposed to discuss on that topic and provide relevant information and have a discussion with the other members of the group. Your group will be selected by the recruiters. You have no right to say, I want to be in this group, I don't want to be in this group. So groups will be divided by the recruiters. You will be divided into various groups and there can be 5, 6, 7 members in your group, maybe less, maybe more. Again, it depends upon the recruiters how they divide your group. Then before the group discussion, you will be given a topic. Okay, you will be given a topic, and after that also you will be directed to conclude the discussion or finish the discussion within 15 or 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Okay, so again you will be given a specific duration in order to discuss, and you have to wrap up your discussion within the given time frame. So the topic will be given to you. You will be divided, at first you'll be divided into groups. Secondly, the topic will be given to you. Third, you will also be given a time limit for the discussion, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and you have to finish the discussion or conclude the discussion within the given time frame. So you have to also make use of the given time properly. Okay, that's the basic concept of group discussion. Is it clear, students? What is a group discussion? Now, if somebody asks you this question, will you be able to answer to this question?
Yes,
Yes or no? Students, what happened? Yes or no?
yes, ma'am.
What about the rest? Girls, what happened? Yes, no, I will not explain you anything if you do not respond. I'll not proceed if you do not respond. Prantika, Rizwan, Sumi, Neha, what happened? Akansha,
Yes, ma'am.
have you understood? Now, will you be able to say what is a group discussion? Is the meaning clear? Concept.
Yes,
Is the
ma'am.
concept clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So why a GD is conducted? Why organizations conduct a GD in order to select the candidates? Okay. Now, not only organizations, a lot of institutes have also included group discussion in order to select the right candidates. Okay. If you after BBA, if you want to study in some other institute, so you might have to also pass a group discussion round in order to get a seat. In order to be able to become a part of that institute, you might have to also pass a group discussion round, because many institutions have also included group discussion in the selection process. Okay, so for higher education, for getting a job, you have to pass a group discussion round. Then only you will go to the next round, or you will be able to get the job, or you'll be able to become a part of that institute where you want to study. Okay, now why the organizations and institutions conduct GD? They conduct GD, group discussion, to find out whether the candidate has the qualities, the required qualities or skills or not. Okay, so group discussion is conducted to find out the right candidate, and also to figure out whether the candidate has the required skills or the required qualities or not. Because when a recruitment process is conducted, or when an admission process is conducted, the organizations or the institutions, they want certain kind of people to become a part of that particular organization or institute, isn't it? So in order to figure out whether the candidate has the qualities or not, they conduct an interview. They conduct a group discussion round. Now this round is conducted specifically to find out whether the candidate has good communication skills or not, whether the candidate has good listening skills or not, whether the candidate is able to manage time, manage stress or not. So the candidates are evaluated on the basis of various skills. Okay, so the purpose to conduct a GD is to evaluate the candidates on the basis of various skills. And let us see what are these skills. Communication skill, behavior, knowledge, presence of mind, critical analysis, ability to handle stress, and time management. These are the important skills. These are the major skills you need to have in order to pass a group discussion round. And the group discussion is also conducted in order to figure out whether the candidate has these skills or not. The ones who have these skills will go to the next round, will pass the group discussion round, and the rest of the candidates who do not have these skills, they will be rejected. So group discussion is a shortlisting process, as I have already mentioned, and it's a very, very tough process. Okay, it's not a easy one, so you cannot take it casually. Okay, because it is the first round of interview. You cannot take it casually. You have to take it seriously, because the competition is too high. Because after the group discussion, only 50-40% of the candidates are only selected, and they face the next round of interview. And suppose there are 200 candidates, and suppose only 50% of the candidates are selected after the group discussion round. See the competition. Okay, the competition is too high, so you cannot take it casually, and you have to be very serious and prepare yourself for group discussions, so that you can crack the group discussion round and you can go to the next round of interview, or you can get the job. Okay, now I'll be discussing about the skills in the next class, and there are a lot of other things also related to group discussion which I'll discuss